Hello, my viewers. Here is again a storytelling episode. This is a story of love, of compassion, of teaching a story to others. In this story, we will learn about a young prince, Prince Siddhartha, who was the son of King Suddhodana and Queen Maya. When he was born, a wise man predicted that he was destined for greatness. Either he would become a great monarch or he would abandon his royal legacy and become an enlightened being. With the queen mother dying shortly after the prince's birth, the king did not want to lose his son too. He resolved to protect his son from any outside influences, and the prince led a very sheltered life. Yes, he was very protected, and the king never wanted anyhow to lose his son, only son. So he ensured that there was every protection, every care given to Prince Siddharth so that he doesn't abandon the kingdom. Young Siddharth's life revolved around the royal palace, and all his lessons were imparted to him within its confines. One spring morning, Siddharth finished his lessons and was playing in the palace garden. A flock of swans were gliding through the blue sky above. Suddenly, there was a piercing shriek, and Siddharth looked up to see one of the swans drop to the ground, bleeding. Oh no! The prince rushed to the spot where the bird fell. He saw that an arrow had pierced one of its wings and the bird was writhing in pain. Without hesitation, Siddharth pulled out the arrow from the wing. There, it's removed now, he whispered softly to the bird, stroking its head. Let's see how we mend you. Gathering some herbs from the garden, he made a paste and applied it to the bleeding wound. Then, tearing off a piece of his upper garment, he rubbed the swan gently with it. Here, Siddharth, give that swan to me. It's mine, came a voice from behind. Siddharth turned to see his cousin Devdatta glaring down at him, his eyes ablaze in anger. On his shoulder hung his quiver full of arrows, and he held a bow in his hand. I shot that swan down, and so it's mine. Give it here, he cried. No, replied Siddharth, as he carried the wounded swan and arose from the ground. This bird belongs to the skies, where it comes from. You have no claim over its life. It should roam free. Devdutt did not expect his gentle cousin to speak so stubbornly. How dare he? What? Have you not learnt your lessons well, Siddharth? Don't you know the laws of our land? The hunter has a claim over his shot. Of course, I know the laws of our land. But in this case, the swan is not yet dead. It has every right to life. All I want to do is help it to get better. Prince Siddharth looked at his cousin calmly as he proceeded to the palace, carrying the bird. Devdatta was furious. He was always a bad-tempered boy, and his patience was running out. Soon his friends who had been with him on the hunt came to join him. Look, my friends will vouch for me and bear witness. They saw me shoot down the bird, shouted Devdutt. Siddharth regarded the group of boys gently and smiled. Of course, no one's disputing you shot the swan, Devdutt. Let's go to the court and settle this. After all, there are many wise ministers there. Let them decide the fate of this poor bird. So, as we have learnt that King Siddharth had rescued a swan, a wounded swan, and Devdutt wanted to claim it because he had shot the arrow, so he feels that he had all the right to the life of the swan, which Siddharth totally denied. An old man, a wise man from the kingdom, gave the sermon that yes, the swan, though shot but wounded, should be healed again, and Siddharth has the right because he is the rescuer. Now, let's see what happens next. The ministers looked at each other. The old man was right, they said. So it's settled. Siddharth, you may take care of the swan. This did not please Devdutt. After a few weeks, King Siddharth brought the swan, now fully recovered, into the garden. Holding it gently in his hands, he opened his palm. Go, my friend, it's time for you to join your companions. The swan flapped its wings and soared up. Suddenly, from nowhere, appeared two more swans. They had come to lead him home. Yes, as we know, that a person who gives life is worthy than a person, of course, who takes it, who wounds it. And Prince Siddhartha, who grew up to become Lord Buddha, was the gentlest and most compassionate of teachers and was always so. He is still alive in the minds of his disciples, in the hearts of his disciples, and people believe that he was one of a kind, who was the one who could leave, who could renounce all kind of pleasures, all kind of kingly happiness and luxuries, just after seeing the sickness, the bereavement, the sadness of others. If we cannot do something as big as Prince Siddharth, but yet let us start doing something even small from our society, our home, in our school, within our friends. We can start being compassionate, start helping, and not wound anyone. Yes, wound in the sense telling harsh words, talking about their nature, about their looks or their colors, or in any other way which we know is wrong. We can at least start this gentle action and be true to ourselves. As of now, signing out. To subscribe and stay tuned for my next story. Bye bye.